Hey everyone, this is GPhysio3, and this is my first YouTube video. My channel is going to consist of NFL content, such as mock drafts like this one, game picks, draft grades, final roster predictions, season predictions, just stuff like that. So let's get into my mock draft. 2020 NFL Mock Draft 1.0 by GPhysio3. Number 1 pick, Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to take Joe Burrow. I mean, when you watch this guy's tape, he's phenomenal. He's the unanimous number 1 pick. This pick's going to happen. He's already calling shots with wanting to play with A.J. Green. So Burrow's insane 60 touchdown season makes it a no-brainer pick for the Bengals and hopes for the Burrow to lead their franchise in the right direction. Yeah, he's the answer. I don't think he's the best prospect, but he's a quarterback, and they need one, and he's phenomenal. Probably the best quarterback to come out in the last few years. Number 2 pick, the Washington Redskins. They're going to take Chase Young. Skins take a generational talent in Young, who was the best player in this 2020 class to bolster their already decent D-line. And yeah, the Redskins, they already have a pretty good D-line as it is, and if they had Chase Young, I think they're going to be probably a pretty good team next year. Not talking playoffs, that's not going to happen. But they're going to be a pretty decent team, and they're going to have I think they might have a top 10 pass rush with Chase Young and Montez Sweat and Daron Payne. So let's get into the 3rd pick, and the Miami Dolphins are going to trade up. They're going to send the 5 overall pick and the 37th overall pick in exchange for the Lions' 3rd overall pick. So they're going to grab Tua. Tua can sit behind Fitzmagic for a year, fully heal, and learn the offense. Look out for the Dolphins in 2021. And I think the Dolphins can be good in 2020. I think they're going to be in that Raiders category. The Raiders are pretty decent this year, and that's probably going to be the Dolphins, 7-9, 8-8. The Dolphins overpaid for a lot of players, but they have to because they're not a very good team, and they got good players. Kyle Van Noy, I believe that's his name, from the Patriots, and Byron Jones. So with the 4th pick, the Giants, they're going to take Andrew Thomas, who I think is the best tackle in this draft. Giants take their choice of the top 4 tackles and go with Thomas to help protect Daniel Jones. And yeah, they need to protect Daniel Jones, and Andrew Thomas is the best tackle in this draft, and he's just a beast when you put on his tape. So with the 5th pick, after trading back to the Lions, they're going to take Jeff Okudah. Great situation for them, right? They get the guy that they wanted, and he's a top 5 talent, and they still get a high 2nd-round pick with it. So Lions get an extra high 2nd-round pick and get their guy. Okudah is a beast and will fill the void Darius Slay left. Okudah is going to be a plug-in guy right away. He's going to make a big impact, and I think he has the potential to be a lockdown corner right away as well. So with the 6th pick, the Los Angeles Chargers are going to take Justin Herbert. Herbert can sit behind Tyrod Taylor for a bit, learn the offense, and be the potential new franchise QB for the Bolts. I think he's got potential. People will say he might be the bust out of this year's quarterback class, but who knows? I think they needed to develop him into a better QB. He needs to let players develop more and make better decisions and not panic as much. So if they can fix that and he can learn the scheme really well, he might be a really good quarterback for years to come. With the 7th pick, the Panthers are going to take Isaiah Simmons. He's so versatile, he can literally do it all. Panthers grab the most versatile defender in the draft in hopes to fill the void of Luke Kuechly left. So he can come in, play linebacker for you, play safety for you. Dude's an absolute stud. So yeah, this pick will happen if Simmons is available, no doubt. With the 8th pick, the Cardinals, they're going to take Tristan Wirfs. Cardinals finally give Murray some help, as Wirfs is the most versatile tackle in this draft and can move inside to guard if you need him to. Yeah, so Wirfs can play anywhere on the line, I think, but center. And the Cardinals, they got D-Hop. They stole D-Hop from the Texans, and they really need O-line help. Kyler Murray can't run for his life 24/7 and on every play. So give him some help, and the Cardinals should be pretty good to go on offense this year. With the 9th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to take Derrick Brown. I think Derrick Brown's an absolute steal here. I think he's a top 5 talent, no doubt. Browns will fill the void Calais Campbell left in hopes of bringing back Saxonville. He ain't the best pass rusher in his class. I think that goes to Javon Kinlaw for the D tackles, but when you put on his tape, he's just a complete disruptor, and he's going to make an immediate impact for his team. With the 10th pick, the Cleveland Browns, they're going to grab themselves a Jedrick Wills. Browns need desperate help in the tackle position. Wills is the answer, and I know that for a fact because Greg Robinson, I think he got caught like that bunch of weed. So, yeah, like the Browns, they're a circus, and I think Wills can come in and be a good guard with that other guard. A good tackle with that other tackle they got in free agency. And, yeah, just like Tristan Wirfs, actually, I think Wills can move in inside the guard too, but we'll see what happens. So I have another trade. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to trade up to 14. The Bucs are going to send their 14th pick and a third-round pick in exchange for the Jets' 11th overall pick. With 3 of the 4 tackles being taken, the Bucs can't resist in trading up for the Mammoth and Mekhi Becton as they land a Big 4 tackle for the GOAT, Mr. Brady himself. This is a slam dunk pick. I think the Buccaneers' main need is tackle, and they get potentially the best one. Most people think Mekhi is the best one, but in my opinion, I think he's the least out of the 4. I think he's still going to be a stud, but I think mainly people think he's the best out of the 4 because of his freakish combine. But I think he's going to come in and make an immediate impact for the Buccaneers to protect the GOAT. With the 12th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders, they're going to take CeeDee Lamb. Raiders stay patient and get their wide receiver and get their choice of wide receiver. Lamb will fit great in John Gruden's offense. Derek Carr will be very happy with this pick. And yeah, so I think this is Derek Carr's prove-it year. If he doesn't get it done this year, they're going to move on from him. I think people who mock quarterbacks to the Raiders are stupid. I believe in Carr. He's a top 15 QB, and he performed pretty well last year without Antonio Brown. He had one of the worst receiving cores. Not saying that they're bad. I think Renfrow and Williams are good receivers. They just had to play up because there wasn't that number one guy. And I think Renfrow and Williams will do much better with Lamb being the number one guy, and Lamb is going to come in and make an immediate impact as well. He's probably the best receiver in this class, and he's perfect for John Gruden's system. Derek Carr likes to throw dink and dunks, and Lamb is a yak machine. So yeah, I think this is a perfect fit, and I think this could make the Raiders, and I think this could help the Raiders make a potential run for the playoffs in 2020. With the 13th pick, the Niners, they're going to take Jerry Jeudy. 49ers get potentially the best wide receiver in the class to add to their already strong offense. Judy's the best route runner, and he's pretty fast. He's an absolute stud. I think this might be the Niners' first guy they want. I think he's the best receiver on their big board, and they'll be ecstatic to get him here at 13. So at number 14, the New York Jets, they're going to take Henry Ruggs III. Jets get a potential Tyreek Hill caliber player, and Ruggs should fit well in the gang green. So yeah, Jets trade back, get an extra pretty decently high pick, and they land Henry Ruggs, and I think Ruggs has really good potential, and he ain't like a John Ross. He ain't just that speedster running a sub 4.3, I think he's more than that. He's pretty good at making the contested catches. He's 6 foot tall still. He's not like a 5'9", 5'10" type of guy like Tyreek Hill is. If he's as good as Tyreek Hill, that's going to be awesome, because Tyreek Hill's a Pro Bowler. But yeah, I think Ruggs is a good pick right here. Number 15, Denver Broncos, they're going to take C.J. Henderson. With the 3 big wide receivers gone, the Broncos grab Henderson, who has Pro Bowl potential and will fill the void Chris Harris Jr. left. I think he's the best option. They could go Justin Jefferson right here, but I think they can replace Chris Harris with a really good cornerback, and I think it goes Okudah tier, then C.J. Henderson's tier, and then it's like whoever you want, like Fulton, Diggs, Gladney, all those guys. So yeah, they're gonna grab Fulton, and I think it's gonna be good for Vic Fangio's defense. With the 16th pick, the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to take Javon Kinlaw. Slam dunk pick right here, you guys. While edge is a bigger need for the Falcons, they find great value in Kinlaw at 16 due to him being a top 10 talent. And yes, Kinlaw is a top 10 talent, no doubt. Dude's an absolute animal. Best pass rusher defensive tackle in the draft. Not on that tier as Derek Brown's at, because Derek Brown's just a freak, but not saying this guy isn't a freak. Kinlaw's an absolute stud, and he's going to fit great in that Atlanta defense. Number 17, Dallas Cowboys. We're going to take Xavier McKinney. While Christian Fulton seems intriguing, I think we're going to take McKinney. Cowboys bolster up their secondary with the best safety in this year's class, and I think he is the best safety, and he's going to come in and make an immediate impact for the Cowboys. Number 18, Minnesota Vikings. They're going to take Justin Jefferson right here. Oh, yeah, and it's a trade-up. The Vikings are going to send the number 22 overall pick and the number 105 overall pick in exchange for the Dolphins' 18th overall pick and number 153 overall pick. So the Vikings trade up and get their guy Jefferson, who is the best receiver outside of the big three. And I'll tell you one thing, he ain't very far from being in the big three. Like it goes, it's gonna go Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, and then it's Jefferson right behind them, and then it's other receivers. I mean, dude's a complete beast, and I think he'd work really well, and with the Vikings. I got another trade up right here, number 19. Tennessee Titans trade up and they grab Clavon Chason. And the trade details right here, Titans send the number 29th pick and their second round pick, 61 overall, in exchange the Raiders' 19th overall pick and 91st overall pick. So they're going to trade up 10 spots, while the Raiders are going to trade up 30 spots. So yeah, they're going to grab Clavon Chason. Titans trade up and get an athletic freak in Chason who will help bolster their pass rush. And yeah, he's going to, like I said, he's going to help bolster up their pass rush and make them an even better team. And that's a good pick right there. Number 20, Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to take Trayvon Diggs. With their first pick, they take a top 5 talent in Derrick Brown. And with their second first rounder, they take Diggs in hopes of filling the void Ramsey and Boye left. I mean, he's going to be the start of a new rebuild era. Him and Brown are going to be the start of a new rebuild era, along with Joe Schobert for the Jaguars. I think Jaguars can be a pretty decent team this year, but let's see how it plays out. Number 21, Philadelphia Eagles. They will take T. Higgins. Eagles don't trade up and stay put and let Higgins, who can get those contested catches. I think Higgins has a ton of potential. I mean, dude's like 6'5". He's going to make those one-on-one catches like almost all the time. And I think he's pretty underrated. I think he's going to be a really good receiver in this league. Number 22, the Miami Dolphins, after trading back, they're going to get DeAndre Swift right here. After getting their franchise QB, they look to get their running back for years to come in Swift. I mean, he is the best running back in this year's class, and he's going to do good things for the Dolphins, I believe. Number 23, oh man, the Evil Empire, the Patriots. They're going to get Jordan Love. Great. I ain't good. The Evil Empire prevails again. Pats stay at 23 and land their new franchise QB in Love, who has the highest ceiling of any QB in his class. He can stay behind Stidham for a year or two. I think, dude, if the Emperor Palpatine of the football himself, if Belichick develops him right, dude, he might be like the next Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's ridiculous when people say that, but dude's potential is through the roof. I mean, he is like Boomer Bust prospect, but I think if he goes to the Patriots, he's in the right hands right here, guys, and I think he might be the next guy in the NFL. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Tired of the Patriots winning every damn year. Number 24, New Orleans Saints. They're going to take Laviska Shenault. I mean, before I get into this little description, I think Shenault is an absolute beast. I mean, he was a unanimous first-round pick before his injuries and his poor combine performance. I mean, but, like, I think he'll work great in the Saints offense. You know, Shenault will fit perfect in Peyton's funky offense, as he is one of the most naturally gifted athletes in this year's class. Injuries provide a concern for him, though. You know, that Taysom Hill, their trick plays. I mean, Shenault ran a bunch of Wildcats. I think he had like at least five rushing touchdowns doing the Wildcat last year. I mean, Steve Montez, the Colorado quarterback, is going to get drafted because of Laviska Shenault. Dude's an absolute beast. And he would probably be like the fourth best receiver in this class, even ahead of Justin Jefferson if it weren't for his injuries. I mean, man's an animal, and I completely disagree with people who think otherwise. Number 25, Minnesota Vikings. They're going to grab Christian Fulton. Vikings get a steal in Fulton at number 25, and they double up on LSU prospects. I mean, honestly, getting Fulton at 25 is great value. I think Fulton is the third best cornerback in this draft, and he should make an instant impact for this team and fill the void Xavier Rhodes left. Number 26, the Dolphins. They're going to take Josh Jones here. Dolphins find themselves landing Jones, who was the best tackle out of the big four. Yeah, Josh Jones, he is the best tackle outside of the top four tackles. I think he can come in and make an immediate impact and be the starting tackle for the Dolphins. And this is a good pick because this is a need for the Dolphins and they're getting it. Number 27, this is probably one of the more unpredictable picks because the Seahawks, they're really unpredictable when it comes to drafts. You know, take last year trading back a lot, and then picking up LJ Collier was like a what moment. We didn't see it coming. But at 27, I think they grab AJ Epinesa. Seahawks take Epinesa to help bolster their D-line. And honestly, I think Epinesa is going to be taken higher than this. I mean, his draft stock, he was getting mocked in the middle of the first round. But his poor combine performance made his draft stock plummet. I will be shocked if he falls out of the first round completely because he is definitely a first round talent. I think he's the second best pass rusher behind Chase Young, and he's good. He's a good player. Like, I mean, he should be taken higher than this. Number 28, Baltimore Ravens, you get Patrick Queen. And, man, every time they pick later in the draft, they always find great value right here. Ravens find themselves a late first-round gem in Queen to replace the void Mosey left some years back. Patrick Queen, he's interesting. He wasn't even starting at LSU in the beginning of the year, but dude came in and was an absolute monster, made a huge impact, and I think he is going to make a huge impact for the Ravens right away. After trading back, Mayock and Gruden, they love their middle round picks, so they got their second round pick, and they could potentially trade up in the second round because they have a bunch of third round picks. But they're gonna take Jeff Gladney right here. I think the Raiders fall in love with Gladney's dog mentality, just as they did with Abram last year. Gladney and Mullen can potentially be a good duo. Yeah, I think Gruden and Mayock might like this guy. Dude has a good personality, and he's an absolute dog on the field. Height isn't the best, but Mullen has good height. Mullen's like 6'2", so a 5'10" guy could be good. I think he's going to come in and be that number 2 cornerback and be good things for the Raiders. With the 30th pick, the Packers, we're going to take Denzel Mims here. Mims will be an excellent number 2 receiver behind Devontae Adams. And yeah, literally last year, it was just Devontae Adams only. It was Devontae Adams this, Devontae Adams that. You add Mims, and I think the Packers are going to be in good hands right here. I mean, I think Mims going against the number 2 cornerbacks, I think he's going to be pretty successful with Devontae Adams being the number 1 guy there. Number 31, the 49ers, they're going to take Ross Blacklock. 49ers grab Blacklock at 31, and it helps to fill the void of DeForest Buckner left. Yeah, so after trading Buckner, they need a D-tackle. Excuse me. And they're going to take Blacklock. So let's see how that will pan out. I think it'll pan out fine. I think Blacklock will come in and be productive, and he's going to like that, I'm sure, because Niners have the best D-line in the entire league. I mean, that D-line is just so potent, you guys. And with the last pick, the 32nd pick, the Chiefs, they're going to take Kenneth Murray. Absolute steal right here. Kenneth Murray is a complete stud. Chiefs get a steal on Murray at number 32 to help bolster the linebacking core. Their defense wasn't the best last year, but, I mean, their offense is phenomenal. They don't need really any help on offense. I could see maybe them grabbing a running back like a Jonathan Taylor or J.K. Dobbins. But right here with Murray on the board, I don't think they should pass up on Murray because Murray is a stud and he's like an alpha, like Coach Gruden said at the Combine. So this concludes my 2020 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. I'm going to be posting a 2.0 probably in a couple of days, you guys. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.